Good morning. On behalf of the Fellowship Board of Directors, I want to welcome everyone gathered on-site and online. Whether this is your first time here or you joined us years ago, we're delighted you're here. The best way for newcomers to get more information is to sign our virtual guest book either via the QR code on your bulletin or at the welcome table in the fireside room. Feel free to stick around for coffee and conversation after the service. Online folks, you too have an opportunity for conversation after the service. Just stay in the Zoom room. And now, announcements. There is a lot of good information on today's special animal blessing inside your order of service. If you haven't taken a look, please do so now. You may have noticed the pop-up mini auction this morning in the fireside room at the auction table, and you may have even already entered your bid. Get a taste for what's to come. Bid this morning on Dorothy Lewis's famous cinnamon rolls, a Sunday morning pre-fellowship breakfast at Ann Kimber and Bob Haugs, and a fun painting, Creature, by Ames artist Joe Myers-Walker, donated by Stephanie Fox. It's not too late. Bidding ends at 11:15. And lastly, pause for effect, Ames Pride Fest is this coming weekend. We're looking for volunteers to set up, staff, and clean up our booth on Saturday. Talk to Jamie. And we'll be joining the Interfaith Pride service at the Memorial Union instead of having service here. Same time, though. Join us downtown and at the Union. Thank you for joining us today.
Before you play, Ukes, if you have brought pictures or other items of pets who are not here that you'd like to put on our table, while we're playing Rockin' Robin, you can rock right on up here with your photos and so on. Now, please.
He rocks in the treetops all day long, hopping and popping and singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, tweet, tweet. Rockin' Robin, rockin' Robin. Oh, rockin' Robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock tonight. Every little song, every chicken dip, every little bird is calling. Rise low down, big black crow, flap their wings, say, go, 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 rockin' Robin, rockin' Robin. Go, rockin' Robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock tonight. Every little bird sang, tell them how to do the robin that was ready. Started going steady and bless my soul. The out of the buzzer and the Oreo. If you want to see the all day long, hopping and bopping and singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, tweet, tweet. Rockin' Robin, rockin' Robin. Go rockin' Robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock tonight.
Welcome to all our siblings this morning. We enter into this half circle of diversity, celebrating the ways that we upright walking two-legged wanderers share with the four-legged lounging, lunging, and leaping among us, with winged warblers, with slithering, sliding, snaky beings, with circling cavorters in a watery world, and with those who carry their house on their backs. We look so different, moving according to the way we were made. Yet, look at us here in this circle. We are part of one family, sharing one planet. May our celebration bring us into a deeper relationship with the diverse beings in the interdependent web of all life. Remembering we all have common needs for safety, care, and respect. Welcome to all our siblings gathered here today. So come, let us gather in fellowship. I invite those at home to light a candle alongside us as we light our chalice here, saying these words together. We light our chalice in the spirit of compassion, fierce and loving. We share a commitment to meet this moment of existential crisis together. So please rise in body or spirit and sing hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Okay.
What a delight to have animal energy in our building and online today. We are already blessed by having your pets, both current and past, in our presence. In the Catholic Church, yesterday was the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi, and it is traditional that this Sunday includes a blessing of the animals to commemorate his devotion to animals and to the environment.
Well, what do we mean by blessing? The Reverend Diana Smith over at the UU congregation in Iowa City, Coralville, says this: in some religions, a blessing is where a priest confers God's grace on a being. And it's so much broader than that. We might say that a blessing is a sacred moment where we pause to deeply remember how connected we are, how we are each a part of the whole, and we need one another, how we are all part of the story of love living itself into the world. A blessing reminds us of the sacred within everything: our food, the earth, the people we interact with, our animal companions. It affirms that sacredness, allows us to remember how deeply we are bound up with each other, and gives us the opportunity to wish another well with the fullness of gratitude welling up in our hearts.
As we embark on our first animal blessing in this congregation, we celebrate our place in the interdependent web of all life. We remember how we are connected to all beings, and we especially celebrate our relationships with our animal companions, who bring us joy and comfort, laughter and meaning, who call us to be our best selves for them. They depend on us, help us connect with the world beyond ourselves, and teach us about being present here and now.
So before we do this blessing, let me say a few words about how we're going to do it. For the folks online, we'll start there first. We're going to allow you to chat with each other. We'll allow you to unmute your microphones, and we won't be seeing you here. You can chat with each other. And our member, Ronnie Kahn, is going to facilitate a blessing of your pets. So we're hopeful that you'll have them close to the camera if they are willing. Unless maybe they're cats and they know what they'd rather do on their own. If your pet is not with you, or if your pet is no longer living, you can hold your phone up to your camera and share a picture of your pet, or hold a photo up. We're not going to be seeing you. This is a time just for you all to do this. Here in Fellowship Hall, we're going to be seeing a slideshow of some animals, both living and already passed, that will be in this slideshow. And we're going to invite folks who have their pets here in the room to come up the center aisle. And Dana and I are going to be up here, and so you'll come to one of us to receive a pet. We'll ask you the name of your pet and then give a blessing. And then you'll go back around the outside. This is trying to be fairly orderly, right? Again, if they're cats, they'll do their thing. This is the literal herding of the cats. So up the center aisle and back out this way, okay? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's fine. And after these blessings are completed, we'll bless the photos and items on the table here. All right, come, hoof and horn, and all things in between. Of what we give for our offering stays here in the building. Half of our non-pledge offering stays here in the building, but half of it goes out to organizations that we support. And it is a great honor for us to support the Iowa Abortion Access Fund. The IAAF does a remarkable job with a little bit of funding to help people get to the abortion and reproductive health care services they need. As you know, it's very difficult in Iowa to get reproductive health care, and so they help folks with material support, transportation, housing, other things that they need to get to places where abortion is safe and legal, which is what we want, safe, legal for all. So as much as you decry maybe what happens in Iowa around abortion access, and you ask, what can we do? The thing we can do is support the people who know how to get to the help to the people who need it. So we're going to take our offering here in Fellowship Hall. We're going to pass the baskets. If you're online or you got your smartphone, of course you can give that way, going to our website. And we are pleased to give and receive this offering. Please. We take some time each week to settle into quietness, to settle ourselves and be fully present with whatever we've brought with us, the joy of our pets, the sorrow of beloveds long gone, the anxiety we may feel about the world, the joy that we feel about a beautiful day and the community that we share. All of it is welcome in this space as we take some time for our joys and our sorrows. No specific joys and sorrows were listed this week, but it's important that we remember all that's happening in the world. The media loves to tell us the hard stories, and there are good stories, beautiful stories, hopeful stories as well. So we bring those in our memories in here too. I want to say just a couple of words. I spoke to Bob Anders this week. He was in the hospital for several days after a surgery, but he's home now and healing well. So Bob and Deb would love to have our cards. They are feeling very much a part, Bob especially feeling very much a part of our community and missing being with us here. Bob, if you're online today, we miss seeing you here as well and know you'll be here as soon as you can. Also, Jenny Molgard is healing well at Bickford Assisted Living. I saw Jenny this week and she is energetic. She has her dog with her there. That's quite the healing thing to have. Jenny, we miss seeing you and know you'll be with us as soon as you can. Let's take a few moments of shared quiet, and into that quiet, lift up the names of people or groups of people or pets that you're thinking of tenderly on your heart, so we may hold those in our shared quiet time. Marissa Dunn and family. The people of Gaza. Trans folks and all LGBTQ folks in the United States and in Iowa in particular. It is a mark of congregational life that we do not hold this alone. We hold it together. Let's sing.
From Jane Goodall. If only we can overcome cruelty to human and animal with love and compassion, we shall stand at the threshold of a new era in human, moral, and spiritual evolution.
I remember a Sunday afternoon in late summer of 2001. There were about 30 of us gathered in a really sweet outdoor space. It was a large deck overlooking one of the Minneapolis lakes. We were still pretty hinky about COVID, so it felt good to gather outside without our masks, to see each other face to face. This was a book group of the First Unitarian Society Social Justice Team, and we were discussing Jane Goodall's recent publication of The Book of Hope. I knew some, but not much, about Dr. Goodall's work. She was the chimpanzee lady. But as I read the book and I got to know more about her, it was easy to see why she was so inspiring to so many people. So this week, 3 ideas come together. We bless our animals, we mourn the death and celebrate the life of Jane Goodall, and we enter our monthly theme of cultivating compassion, and it seems to me they flow perfectly together. I love that when the liturgical year just comes together like so. So I want to start with that third idea, compassion. What does compassion really mean? Another great activist who recently died, Joanna Macy, said this: compassion boils down to not being afraid of the suffering of your world or of yourself, not being afraid of the suffering of the world or of yourself. It involves being open to what you're feeling about that suffering, whether it's grief or rage or fear or overwhelm, and being brave enough to experience it. You can't heal something you're afraid to get near. Compassion is what impels us to act for the sake of the larger whole. Or put more accurately, and I love this, it is the whole acting through you, through me. It is what impels us to act for the whole, or the whole acting through us. So compassion literally means to suffer with. If you've ever been in love and known passion, you know that it is to suffer. Compassion means to suffer with. Sometimes I find it hard to separate empathy and compassion. Here's a way to think about it. Empathy is feeling someone else's emotions with them. And compassion is the desire to alleviate their suffering. So empathy is feeling with each other, and compassion is a desire to do something about it. Empathy is inward focused, an emotional connection, and compassion has an outward focused response that motivates action to help. That calm is with, to suffer with. Empathy is the foundation of compassion, but it moves beyond just understanding and sharing an emotion to wanting to make a positive difference. Now, when we have our joys and sorrows time, and we lift up the things that we're concerned for, it can feel sometimes heavy. And I talk about we expand our heart opening to be able to hold the world. But you know, compassion fatigue is a thing. It's a real thing. And certainly, well, the first time I heard about it really was during COVID time from healthcare workers. Healthcare workers talked a lot about compassion fatigue. Signs of compassion fatigue may be like emotional exhaustion and feelings of sadness or helplessness, the lack of empathy, irritability, difficulty concentrating, physical symptoms like headaches or stomach aches. And if you watch the news these days, and I know you do, we can really get some compassion fatigue for all that feels heavy and wrong, and the people, the animals, the planet, which are under assault. There is a kind of recurring trauma that we experience, and it's pretty easy to check out because we just can't hold anymore. That's real, and I just want to name that as real. And I want to name that our animal companions can often be quite a help with that. Whatever else is happening in the world, my dog Memphis needs a walk and needs to be fed and needs to be played with. Whatever else is happening, and needs a cuddle. Whatever else is happening, that can help regulate us. Our animal companions can help regulate us. There are some things that we can do to help with compassion fatigue. We establish healthy boundaries. We try not to overwork. We try not to let too much dump on us before we get some relief from it. We engage in stress-reducing activities, good sleep, water, relaxation techniques like meditation or yoga. We get support from others. We come be a part of a community so we don't hold it alone. We take breaks from the news. We take breaks from what is weighing us down, especially if you are a long-term caregiver. Respite is so, so important. And I'll tell you that our congregational care team, our caring network, if you need respite care, please let us know, and we'll see what we can do to help get that for you. Lots of other ways we can do that. But knowing that compassion is so important to us, and we can have that sense of too much. Another way that is helpful to me of thinking how to deal with the pain of the world is to, as Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. And Jane Goodall was an example, a bright light of a helper, someone who saw the pain of the world and framed it in a way that can be considered hopeful. Born Valerie Jane Morris Goodall in London on April 3rd, 1934, Dame Jane Goodall was a scientist, a conservationist, and a peacemaker known for her revolutionary chimpanzee studies. Her lifelong passion, she certainly suffered for it and found great joy, for animals and for Africa led her to Gombe in Tanzania in 1960. She was just 26 years old, and she immersed herself in the chimpanzee habitat to study that behavior. Her 1960 discovery that chimpanzees use tools changed the scientific world and redefined the human-animal relationship. As much as anything, her work with primates helped us understand that we too are animals. Animals do things that we also do, right? We also are animals. In her book of hope, oh, this book is wonderful. How many of you have encountered Jane Goodall's Book of Hope? Yes, lovely. It's a dialogue with Douglas Abrams exploring how to maintain hope and take action in the face of a global crisis like climate change, like the pandemic, and political upheaval. She has 4 reasons for hope. And these just feel like a really good organizing tool for how we're not just kind of wishful thinking for the future, but can actually sink into these. The amazing human intellect, the resilience of nature, the power of young people, and the indomitable human spirit. The amazing human intellect, the resilience of nature, the power of young people, and the indomitable human spirit. It defines hope as a vision for the future that requires tangible action. It shares anecdotes from Jane Goodall's life and emphasizes the crucial role of youth and community-based action in creating a healthier world. Some of you have seen the photos of elderly Jane Goodall and young Greta Thunberg together. I just adore those photos of the wisdom of these two women, one at close to the end of her life and one at the beginning. Just a great tender thing there. She wrote this: "Of course, a great deal of our onslaught on Mother Nature is not really lack of intelligence, but lack of compassion for future generations and the health of the planet. Sheer selfish greed for short-term benefits to increase wealth and power of individuals, corporations, and governments. The rest is due to thoughtlessness, lack of education, and poverty." In other words, there seems to be a disconnect between our clever brain, our amazing human intellect, doesn't always work like we want it to, a disconnect between our clever brain and our compassionate heart. True wisdom requires thinking both with our head and understanding with our heart. True wisdom requires thinking with our head and understanding with our heart. There's a kind of psychological therapy called DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, dialectic behavioral therapy. Are you familiar with this? Do you know DBT? Boy, it's some good stuff, I'm telling you. And that's the dialectic between our head and our heart. Not always reason, only logic, not only emotion, but the meeting of the two. That's the dialectic of dialectic behavior therapy. And I think Jane Goodall gives us this really good example of this true wisdom. Yes, we need progress in the world. Yes, we need to feed people, and sometimes the way we feed people is not always as good for the planet as it could be. So we have to think in both ways, not always with the logic, but also with understanding and compassion. I love the way she says this, compassion for future generations. That's powerful. So all God's critters, that's us, and all the critters that aren't in the room here with us, that's more. All God's critters got a place in the choir. We're going to sing that in a little while, not for a little while. I sort of tipped it off there, didn't I, Reggie? Yeah. And our understanding and interconnectedness of our interconnectedness calls us to compassion for all creatures in the world, even the mosquitoes, even the squirrels. I don't care for squirrels. Even the slithery ones, even the snakes. I know my mom is watching and she can't stand a snake, so I'm going to quit talking about it, Mom. Compassion for all the critters. Now, sometimes I hear people say, well, I'm preaching to the choir. Sometimes you hear, if you've got a justice sermon going on, I'm preaching to the choir. You know what? Choirs have discipline. Choirs work together in an amazing interdependence. They listen, they rely on each other. So if all God's critters got a place in the choir, even the ones we don't like, especially the humans we don't like. Jane Goodall said that her favorite animal is not a primate, not a chimpanzee or other primate, because they're too much like humans. And some humans aren't very nice, and some primates aren't very nice. She said that. Her favorite animal is a dog, she said. But if we've all got a place in the choir, if we've all got a place in the whole, and compassion is us embodying the whole and the whole embodying us, then it's important to think about not just the big animals that we see. I recently learned the phrase charismatic megafauna. You know what charismatic megafauna is? That's the large, popular, well-known animals like pandas and elephants and tigers that are often used in conservation efforts to attract public funding and support for saving an endangered species. And so it can bring in money, but it risks diverting attention from other less popular species that may be equally important to our ecosystem. I think the point that I'm making is the choir is an ecosystem. If all God's critters, that means all of us, every human being and every other winged, snaky, scaly, feathered, furry thing, winged thing, we all are in this interdependent ecosystem together, and we increase our capacity, our moral and spiritual evolution and revolution come from our being able to expand and hold it all together. So I would say that we started the blessing of the animals with Saint Francis of Assisi, but this picture came across my desk this week, and we could beatify Saint Jane Goodall. If only we can overcome cruelty to human and to animal with love and compassion, We shall stand at the threshold of a new era in human, moral, and spiritual revolution. Let's sing All God's Critters. Please stand as you are willing and able.
This is a song written by Bill Staines, a Texas troubadour, and he wrote this song after a really active and noisy camping experience involving porcupines. I'm not sure if they're charismatic megaphone or not. Okay. You'll hear how it goes. The chorus goes over a few times, so enjoy. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing high. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or balls or anything they got down. Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bar. The move from groups and the hip hop. The spoons and the drums do the big to-do. The old crowd just goes woo. Dogs and the cats, they dig up the middle of the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles and the donkey rays and the pony neighs and the old coyote howls. Listen to the top where the little birds sing on melodies with the high note string. The owl hollers over everything and the jaybird disagrees. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or balls or anything they got down. It's simple, and the everybody hops and the pops and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hog of love, the sly raccoon and the turtle dove. Everybody here is a part of the plan. We can all get to play in the great red land of the eagle in the sky and the whale in the sea. It's one great symphony. And all God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or balls or anything they got down. Nice job.
Let us extinguish all our chalices, here and those with our friends online, by saying together, "We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again."
We planned a little bit short today, not knowing how all of the critters were going to do. So that means extra time for coffee hour and so on. And a couple of brief things. One is that at 11:15, in about 30 minutes, we'll have our service of silent witness down in room 3. If you have particular things that you would like on your hearts that you would like to share in a smaller setting. Some gratitude today. Thank you so much, ukulelists, the Central Iowa Ukulele Friends. Amber Anderson and Elijah Mbe for extra music here. Our music coordinator, Madison Mayfield. Our tech team, Titus, I think you were the tech team today. Thank you so much. You had a lot to do today, so thank you. Facilitators Ben Willeen and Karen Bates, and online facilitator Ronnie Kahn, our Director of Religious Education, who thought it would be a good idea to do an animal blessing, Dana Poss. When I said thank you earlier this morning, she said, just wait. We'll see if this is really gratitude. Dana, thank you. What a good idea. Our hospitality team and our membership coordinator, Amanda McIntosh, thank you so much for this. Jane Goodall also said, you cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. You can't get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference. And we have to decide what kind of difference we want to make. Blessed be, go in peace, and have a wonderful day.
But I know we'll meet again some